What is up, guys? It's Swampert here, finally back again with some more Go Battle League action. This time going to be uh, going into the Premier Cup in the Master League, actually doing my wife's placement matches. Um, so even though these are placements matches, it's at rank 5, and I won almost all of the matches to rank 5. Basically, I lost 2 so far, so my wife is actually facing some very good opponents. And so these are still some quite high quality battles. The reason I haven't done a video yet in Master League is because we got to Master League and I was immediately bored. The meta is exactly the same as it was last year, or sorry, last season. In Open Masters, the lag seems worse than it was last season, which is consistent with, all of this season so far, as lag has been quite bad. And it's really important to be able to have super fast switches, so I've just found that very frustrating. And then in Masters Premier, I find it really easy to predict the third Pokemon on a team. Uh, Based off of the first two, just because there are so many polarizing matches like Metagross into Togekiss or Togekiss into Dragonite or Garchomp, that there's a lot of hard covers, and it's often pretty easy to guess what somebody has as their cover for a certain Pokemon. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the battles. So this team is not a team of my own creation. I certainly seen FP Sticks use it. I know that a number of people used it last season. We've got Togekiss on the lead, with a Swampert as the back in the back to cover those steel types. Swampert's secondary move is Sludge Wave. Obviously, that does much better against Gyarados and Dragonite or any other flyers you might see. And then Snorlax is on the safe swap with Lick, Body Slam, and Skull Bash. Body Slam is essential. Skull Bash, you can either take that or Superpower. I do recommend having one of those two, though, because in this team, Snorlax's most important matchup is the Mirror matchup, and you want to make sure that you can win the Mirror against other Snorlax. And Skull Bash and Superpower are the two moves that give you the best chance of being able to do that. Earthquake, yeah, it gives you a great Metagross matchup, and Outrage gives you a better matchup against the Dragons. But based on the way these games usually play out, winning those isn't nearly as important as winning the Snorlax matchups. So, um, just taking a little while to find a lobby or a game here. As I said, my wife did win a lot of matches, so her queue times are actually quite long at the moment. We do get one here now, though, and we've got a Magnezone on the lead. This is terrible for us. We got to swap right away into our Snorlax, and we're going to build up a bunch of energy. This is definitely going to be a wild charge. They're going to wild charge and switch out, which is in fact what they do, and in comes Dragonite. Not too surprising. So I'm going to go for that Skull Bash. Not going to shield on my Snorlax. What I really want is for them to shield this Skull Bash. That would be amazing. And in fact, getting the Skull Bash off here, they do shield it. So that's really good for us, because now we can come in with Togekiss and farm all this energy. If they hit us with a Hurricane, it's not a big deal. It doesn't take us out, and it's just less farm for them on the back end. But it's a Dragon Claw, and so this is almost certainly a... well, it could be a double steel team, but it could have something like a Mamoswine in the back. This is probably a Mirror Shot. It is just a Mirror Shot, so I'm still going to be able to get to this Flamethrower. And they're going to be forced to shield again, and now Swampert has 2 shields to take out whatever's in the back. It's actually a Snorlax in the back. That makes a lot of sense, having that on the safe swap there. So I'm going to be going for Hydro Cannons here. I've got 2 shields. This isn't going to be a problem. We're going to be able to outpace this Snorlax cleanly and shield up all of their Body Slams. So we are able to connect with 1 Hydro Cannon. Going to be getting a back-to-back off here, probably before they get to another charge move. I could actually have built up to another Hydro Cannon there to drop it on the Magnezone when it comes back in, but totally fine because I'm going to be able to outpace this Magnezone as well. They're getting to a Mirror Shot here. I'm just going to go ahead and shield. Even though neither Mirror Shot or Wild Charge would take me out, there's no reason not to shield there. So we are able to get the Hydro Cannon off and take out that Magnezone, and that's going to be a good game. So lost lead, but because we got that shield advantage from the Dragonite shield and the Skull Bash, we were able to flip that matchup there. All right, getting into the second game here. Have to see what we come up against on the lead. It is a Gyarados on the lead, so this is so-so. It's a Dragon Breath Gyarados, which is definitely better for us because we are double resisting those Dragon Breaths. But Gyarados is kind of bit of a neutral-ish matchup. So what I usually like to do against Gyarados is at some point swap out. I'm not doing that here, though. I think I played this one a little bit differently. We CMP tied to that second charge move, so that's a little unfortunate. But this Ancient Power is going to be taking them out. And then they come into Metagross. I probably should have swapped right away into Snorlax, but I can come in now with Swampert, and they've got a Snorlax in the back. So this is going to be a little bit tricky because I don't want to come in with an energy disadvantage, but I also don't want to take too much damage on my Swampert. So I'm going to build up to another Hydro Cannon and save it, and then swap into the Snorlax. This is likely a Body Slam, not going to shield that. So that was a pretty ideal situation there, to be honest. So we've got a health advantage now on this Snorlax, but they still have an energy advantage. This is likely going to be another Body Slam. It is another Body Slam. I'm going to go ahead and go for a Body Slam here. I'm going to try and keep a Body Slam loaded basically at all times. They go ahead and swap out into Metagross, so I'm going to go for this Superpower. Sorry, not Superpower, Skull Bash, and it connects and does a ton of damage, so I make a questionable call here not to shield. I probably could have, because I did have the defense boost, and then I make a really bad choice to swap into Swampert and throw away right away. The right play was swapping into Swampert and farming up a bunch of extra energy, because now this Snorlax has a pretty significant energy advantage, and I'm going to need to get to 3 Hydro Cannons to take out both shields and take out the Snorlax. So we're going to be able to get to a back-to-back here. And really, the important thing is, the real question is, am I going to be able to survive their next Body Slam and the lick damage afterwards? So it's going to be really close, and I'm hoping that I can survive. This Body Slam on its own won't be taking me out, but will get me very low. And then I just need to get to this Hydro Cannon, and I'm able to just barely make it. Really, really close game. Would have been a lot better if, when I came in with Swampert onto the Metagross, I did not throw right away. I farmed up to at least a back-to-back Hydro Cannon because I'd be resisting those bullet punches, and they weren't close to another charge move. So that would have made it much cleaner, but we were still able to come out on top there. All right, Togekiss into Mamoswine, not a great matchup, so you're going to want to swap out. I think that Togekiss actually can potentially win that matchup, but it's just a little awkward because it is taking super effective damage. So we're going to go ahead and not shield up the Avalanche. Gyarados is coming in, so that's totally fine. Don't want my Swampert to see that, so I'm going to go for the Skull Bash here. If this connects, this is going to deal absolutely massive damage, and it does connect. That is pretty good for us. So going to go ahead and let that off the tail come through. They are going to be able to take us out. I'm going to come in with Togekiss and do one charm, absorb the charge move here. And then I'm actually going to come in with Swampert and farm this down because I can get a lot of energy from that little sliver of health since the mud shots are double resisted. And they actually come back in with Mamoswine. So this tells me that they almost certainly have a Metagross in the back because otherwise, why would you come in with Mamswine behind on energy into a Swampert when you know that there's a Togekiss that your Mamswine can potentially take? So um, that means that I'm just going to be able to two-shield the Swampert and likely take this game. I'm going to outpace them here, and they do in fact switch into Metagross. I'm going to double up and then go for the back-to-back, hoping to deny the Bullet Punch. Land one, we aren't, actually we don't go for the back-to-back. We build up a little bit of extra energy. We land a second Hydro Cannon here. They're going to get off a charge move. I can just safely shield this and farm them down. Their Mamoswine is not quite at a charge move yet. They're at least one Powder Snow away, I think. So we're just going to be able to Hydro Cannon them when they come back in. But my opponent decides to surrender because that they had no way to take us out. The Hydro Cannon would be enough to take out the Mamoswine since it is super effective. Alright, Garchomp. So because they have Garchomp on the lead, they almost certainly have Metagross in the back. So Snorlax is going to come in, and when my opponent safe swaps into Snorlax, what I like to do is basically charm them until they throw a Body Slam. And what that does is it ensures that my Snorlax has a really easy time winning switch advantage because it has a massive health advantage. So not going to shield anything on my Snorlax, and especially with Garchomp, Togekiss can, farm down Garchomp with like a third of its health and still take an outrage. So it doesn't need the health, and maintaining switch is going to be really, really important in this match. So that's why I went ahead and did that. So they throw a superpower here. I'm going to be able to get to this Body Slam again, making sure that you always have some residual energy and a Body Slam left over again in the Snorlax Mirror matchup is great because it means if your opponent throws a superpower, you can punish it right away with Body Slam. They do come back in with Garchomp here, and we're just going to be able to go for the Body Slam spam here. They have to Outrage to take us out. If this is Outrage, so be it. If it's Sand Tomb, it's not going to be enough. It is just a Sand Tomb, so they're definitely going to try and go for the aggressive farm down, but I'm going to be able to land at least another Body Slam after this because you just can't farm down Snorlax that easily. So this is going to be really applying a lot of shield pressure, and we do get a shield that would have taken out the Garchomp, which probably would have been better for them, to be honest. Not going to shield my Togekiss. Outrage, he doesn't do much damage. Sand Tomb does basically nothing. It's a Metagross in the back. I'm able to get to the Flamethrower right away, which is going to force a shield or deal a ton of damage. And now we've got 2 shields on Swampert to take out Metagross and a low health Garchomp. So, going to go ahead and shield up the Meteor Mash. Can certainly comfortably survive it, but no reason not to use the shields there in case I miscounted and it was an Earthquake, which would put me quite low. We can go for the back-to-back Hydro Cannons here, which is going to take out the Metagross. And then Garchomp is going to come back in. Not going to shield this. Even if it's an Outrage, that's fine because I actually survive it. But even if I didn't survive, Togekiss had enough health that it could come down and do 2 charms very easily. So I wanted to save that shield for Togekiss. But we are able to take it out with the Swampert. Alright, so doing fairly well so far. Going to go into, is this the last matchup? This might be the last matchup in this set. 4-0 so far, so pretty good. I have used this team once on my main account as well, and went 3-2, so it definitely works at high ratings as well. But it's a fairly interesting team, and one that, as I say, lots of people have used, but it uses some Pokemon that are slightly less common in Masters, namely Swampert is a little less common, at least than Metagross and Dragonite. So um, there is that's kind of nice as well. All right, taking a little while to find a team here. One of the other nice things about this team is that it counters the very common Dragonite, double steel team. So the Dragonite, Metagross, Magnezone. Obviously, Togekiss beats that Dragonite very handily, and then they would usually safe swap into a um, Metagross, at which point you can come in with either Snorlax or Swampert and reliably win that. Uh, so that's a very nice part of this team as well. All right, Snorlax into my Togekiss here. So Snorlax is sort of interesting on the lead because Togekiss's job isn't to beat Snorlax. So I like to play this the same way as if they swapped in. I take a Body Slam and then swap into my own Snorlax. And so they're actually throwing another Body Slam here, which is totally fine. And they come in now to their Togekiss. So this is fine. We're going to build up a lot of energy and go actually straight for that Skull Bash. And if this lands, this is going to deal a ton of damage. We do connect with the Skull Bash, so that's pretty good for us. I think this is just going to be an Ancient Power. They might have made it to the Flamethrower, but pretty likely that they bait there. So we're actually going to be able to get to another Body Slam, which is going to either win a Switch advantage or Shield advantage. They decide to maintain Switch, so we're going to come in with Togekiss now and drop their opposing Togekiss. Metagross comes out. We're going to be able to Flamethrower. They decide not to shield, which is totally fine. Swampert can come in, and now, again, Swampert has 2 shields, and they have 2 fairly low Pokemon. We're going to be able to shield up the Body Slam, and then really outpace the Snorlax. So we're going to go for 1 Hydro Cannon here. This is likely going to get the shield. We do get the shield. Going to go for another Hydro Cannon. This is not quite going to be enough to take them out. But basically at this point, all I need to do is double up because the Metagross is within Hydro Cannon range. So I'm going to shield up this Body Slam and then going to build up to 2 Hydro Cannons. I definitely could have just farmed down here, but I have 2 Hydro Cannons, so no reason to keep farming. So I drop the first Hydro Cannon and then drop the second one onto this Metagross. And that's going to be enough to take it out, and that's a good game. So we're able to go 5-0 in that set. Really some good battles there. And this team, pretty interesting. As I said, I've been pretty much immediately bored with Master League. So I, make of that what you will. I really hope that there are some ways to shake up the meta a little bit in the future for Master League, because I honestly don't really see a way that switching up move pools is going to be able to make Pokemon balanced in other leagues, but have an impact on the meta in Masters. So we'll have to see what Niantic's able to do in future seasons. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.